Mike, we've got 6 players listed here. Some would say the biggest flops of the weekend. I mean, we would say that, but let's talk about them. Let's talk about some players that should have popped off, but didn't. What do you think?
And should you keep them? Like,
Yep.
is it worth keeping these flops of the first game week?
Well, who's at the top of our list? We'll start with him.
Oh, so lanky. He had no clear-cut chances, but he still looked good and he gave everything. He worked hard. And in a Spurs team that should have won that game 3-0, who drew that game, which feels like a loss to them. Typical Spurs behavior. But I think there's a lot to say about Solanke in terms of it's his first time playing with the game. He still has an easy fixture against Everton. I say keep. He flopped last weekend. He didn't return, and it cost us a lot of points in terms of what you could have had for that 7 million if you upgraded it to a Havertz or you downgraded it to a Wood. There's a lot you can do with that money.
Yeah.
But you don't play FPL week by week. You play FPL as a marathon. And I didn't bring Solanke in for 1 game week. I need him to prove to me over 3 game weeks.
Yeah.
That's the time I'm giving him.
Yeah.
So, yes, he did flop. But Spurs are an attacking team. Maddison will get better at finding him. The form of Maddison goes up. The form of the striker goes up.
Yeah. I agree. I think you hold him for it, but and he's got a point to prove. And what better way to do it against the easy Everton fixture at home? So we'll have to wait and see.
Everton are struggling defensively. So I would say that it is a good option to have a Spurs attacker in their team this coming week. They got beaten 3-0 by Brighton. So
there you go.
There you go.
The next one is someone that you thought was quite a saucy pick. And the writing was on the wall. Remember, I did it. It was there. It was all there. Bruno Fernandes, Man United. What the heck happened?
Well, I had this thing like happen because we were like sharing our teams, and then I was like, I'm not gonna be having Fernandes, and you had Fernandes, and then next minute you had no Fernandes, and I was like, does that mean I go to Fernandes now just in case he does pop off? And in the end, we both were sighing a fresh relief.
Yeah, because we knew the potential was there, and we were just happy that we didn't.
How many goals did you see him miss?
Yeah, I think it was at least two, maybe 3 clear-cut chances.
Very clear cuts.
Yeah.
The third one that he could have scored. If United score, nothing changes. He is going to be the one to score points. But he was so unlucky that he didn't get the points, and they were rescued as a late goal that Fulham lost. I lost points because of that.
Yeah, you would have got the clean sheet. We would have got the clean sheet from Robertson, yeah. So, he's still going to start at number 9, so he's still going to maybe hold him if you have him. Like we say, I think it's the same situation with Solanke. A bit worse considering he missed the chances that were very clear. But he's still Fernandes. Things are still going to go through him, so hold him for a bit.
Yeah, another one that disappointed with hardly any preseason, and I didn't think it was a good idea to start him. I have no Chelsea players, but Cole Palmer, who just won PFA Player of the Season, but did not make it in the Team of the Season. That's the big news happening in the UK right now. And he started at right wing, and he did not look his normal self.
No, he didn't look like he fit. No, I don't know what. He looked like 5.5 mil Cole Palmer. He didn't look like 10.5 mil Cole Palmer. For that price, to not do anything, I would worry. I worry for Chelsea already. Now I worry for Palmer.
Over Salah, over Jota,
Saka,
over Fernandes, over Saka, and I'd be worried. Now, I'm not saying drop Palmer because they do have easier fixtures. However, personally, I will wait on Chelsea until I actually see a Chelsea who can win games. Because right now, Chelsea are an enigma. Yes, they played Manchester City, and yes, they didn't look that bad, but that doesn't mean that this is Pochettino's end of season Chelsea that are going to go out there, score goals, and just really be solid. I think we could easily see Chelsea lose the next 3-4 games, and we're talking about a relegation, early season relegation fight. I can see it. So for me, I'm not moving to Palmer, and I would, if anybody on this list, he's probably my definite move on if you have the money, because if you're going to put Saka in for that same money, I guarantee you Saka is going to score as much points, if not more points than Palmer over the next 5 weeks.
Yeah. There we go. Another player who actually I wouldn't go as far as saying was a bit of a flop, more but unlucky, because he looked really good in Palace's team, was Eze. A lot of people own him, 30+% people own him. Unfair goal ruled out. I mean, what can you do? The ref blew the whistle as it went in.
I was very happy that he didn't score because I don't have the space in my team or money in my team for a 7 million player.
Yeah.
And I know everybody wanted to have him in his team, and a lot of people did. That being said, he didn't prove to me that he doesn't deserve to be in my team because he actually looks good.
Yeah.
And if Crystal Palace are going to score, he's going to be at the center of it. He's their talisman right now. Everything seems to go through him, and he will be scoring points. So if you do have him in your team, he's still worth a hold.
I agree.
He's not worth that. He's still worth a hold. However, I'm going to keep praying that he blanks every week.
Same with Fernandez,
just by luck.
Same boat.
Yeah. What about Barco? What do we do about Barco? Wasn't in the squad
at all.
He's rumored to be off for a loan.
Yeah.
Even though he played all of preseason, even if he does start or he is involved in the next game, when Estupinan comes back, he takes back his position anyways. But he's at 4 million. What do you do with him? What do you think? A lot of people are going to have him there. And we were using, to correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, we did the same thing. We put Barco in our team, knowing that if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter because we have Robinson on the bench.
Yeah.
And what a good decision that would have been if he did play, because then Brighton would have scored like 3 goals and he might have been involved in it.
He would have got a clean sheet. Well. Yeah.
If there was another 4 million Brighton asset, he was good.
Yeah.
So what do you do with Barco?
It's tough because he's such a cheap player. You can't really replace him with anyone that's going to be potentially starting all the time. He's kind of a player that I'm going to look at and say, he's probably on his way out. Let me bank a transfer and fix my team. That way I can take 2 transfers, not take a hit, get rid of him, and maybe downgrade a midfielder to upgrade the defense and get a more mid-price midfielder kind of a thing, because you can't really take him out any like-for-like swap at the moment.
Yeah, I would suggest you wait until either you wildcard. I would actually just leave him to sit on my bench till I wildcard.
Yeah.
The nice thing, here's the interesting bit. If he gets transferred to another club, particularly outside of the Premier League, like on loan, his price gets locked at 4.
Yeah, which is what
this means we don't. So if he's not going to be used, they didn't leave.
Yeah.
Go to Spain or something.
Yeah.
Because that way we lock in their 4 million spot on the bench. Yes, it's a useless bench spot, but all we do is we wait to our first wild
and
card.
you're not losing money on him, so there's no harm, no foul.
In fact, it's better to have Barco that leaves than to have someone like Rodrigo that's gone down.
Exactly.
Or Kwanzaa. So, and the last one, a lot of people who didn't go with Haaland had this guy in the teams.
Yeah, we didn't plug him at all.
Who am I talking about? What am I talking about? Watkins?
Mr. Oliver Watkins. Ollie Watkins for Villa. Played 61 minutes, I think, and then got taken off. Didn't look like he had much of an impact at all. I don't know if he just needs to find form again, but he's not the Ollie Watkins we saw last season. Stay away from Villa, from Villa's forward, Ollie Watkins at the moment. I don't think it's worth the investment. Is he 9 mil? I think he's 9 mil. For that price, I'd rather just buy Wood or Havertz. Why bother with Watkins?
I think you hit the nail on the head there with the Wood. It's just there's so many better options in the forwards. Solanke could pop off. Yes, if you had Solanke instead of Watkins, it's not a major difference there. But like, if Isak and Haaland are doing their thing and you have this third spot, you have Wood, you have Havertz, you have players that can come in the forward position even Wisa you have as an option. There's so many forwards. There's forwards from Brighton. You can choose Welbeck. Like so many options.
Yeah.
So I don't think Watkins is really worth it. And I would rate him on this list of all the names we've said. Even Palmer, I think is worth holding on a little more than Watkins. He's the one that I feel like is a bigger waste of money right now. Okay, he could prove me wrong and score a hat-trick this week. I mean, we can see. But I think he's one that I might want to move on. I might. But yeah, that's our biggest flops of this weekend.
Here we go.
The sad part is it is about just being calm and holding on for most of them.
Yeah, like you said, FPL's a marathon. It's not a sprint race. So there we go.